Hello, teacher. My name is Valentina Cespedes, and today I'm going to talk about the Telltale Heart Story. This is a short story written by Edgar Allan Poe in 1843. Edgar Allan Poe was an American writer and poet, and he's considered the father of the detective novels. And this short story was published first by his friend James Russell Lowell in January of 1843, but then in August of 1845, Edgar Allan Poe decided to republish it in the Broadway Journal. I choose this story because it's one of my favorite of Edgar Allan Poe. Also, I think that is very interesting. Read from perspective of a murderer who is not a murderer. Is just a disturbed, a mental disturbed man, and he is capable to feel guilt, and that aspect is not easy to find in this type of narratives. This story unfolds in a house. This house is old, is gloomy, has enclosed spaces, dark rooms, um, wooden floor, which is removable, and we can assume that it unfolds in a city because the police arrive very quick. So I think it's in a city. About the characters, there are two main characters. The first one is the mental ill man, and the second one is the old man with a perturbed big blue eye, like a vulture, but is covered by a cloth. About the supportive characters, there are three policemen and a neighbor. They don't have names, any one of them. And the story begins with the anonymous narrator trying to convince us about his mental sanity. He describes the relationship that he has with the old man like a good one. He was very kind, but the old man had a perturbed big blue eye like a vulture, so torments a lot the protagonist, and he decides to plan and commit the murder. So for this, the protagonist sneaks into the old man's room during 7 nights, and in the 8th night, he chokes him, and before the old man died, he screamed in a terrifying way, so alert a neighbor who calls the police. The protagonist dismembers and hides the old man's body under the floor, and when the police arrive, he opens the door, very normal, and he tells that he screamed because he had a nightmare, and the old man who live with was on a trip, so it's just fine. And the police search the house and talk very pleasant with him, but the the protagonist is begins to consume by the guilt, by the pressure, and he believes to hear a sound come from old man's dead heart. So the pressure, the police makes him to confess them that he murdered the old man. But in reality, he the sounds comes from his own heart. The guilt betrays him. To conclude this report, I really love this story, and I think it's very important show show the people all the work of Edgar Allan Poe with his stories, um, with the music, the plays theater, with the movies inspired by his work. So Edgar Allan Poe always be a good reference, and the vocabulary is ill, indeed, vulture, madman, cloth, thick, straight up, and tightly. Thank you so much.